Hi everyone, this is another episode of Century Countess. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to color a dress more in depth. I did this for a tutorial video, but I didn't do too much detail with that, so I thought I'd go ahead and do a video more in depth about the coloring fabric or an old doll dress. Now, tulle is very hard to color, so that's something that you have to prepare yourself for, that it will not accept color. For this project, I don't want to alter too much of the dress, so we're going to try to duplicate the color that has faded out as much as possible, which is what we're doing now. We're taking acrylic paints, we're going to put it in a craft bowl, make sure the craft bowl is clean and dry. You do not want any pigment from an old project getting onto the dress. So here we are, we're adding the paint. Then we're going to add some warm water and we're going to mix it. You don't want it to be translucent water. You want to make sure it's thick, and where if you dip your finger in it, it will color your finger, but easy to wash off. But I still recommend wearing gloves because sometimes paint does not want to leave your hands, especially when you liquidate it like I'm going to do now pretty soon. So I'm just mixing the colors to a consistency that I like. Then I'm going to add the water, then mix it some more. Also, while you're mixing the paint, you want to be careful for what I call paint skin. It's basically paint that has somehow dried out and has gotten into the paint. It's kind of like what milk does when you warm it up. You get that skin layer on top that you have to remove. So it's a pigment like that, and you do not want to get that in your mix. Otherwise, it could cling to the dress, and when you wash out the excess, it will leave a imprint from that pigment. So you want to make sure you got a smooth consistency. So here I'm mixing the water. Now, depending on the size of the dress, you probably need to add a lot more. You'll probably need a bigger bowl than this if it's like a American Girl dress or something much larger. So here we are. I'm doing a test run real quick. And the first test, it didn't absorb, so it needed a little bit more acrylic. So that's what I'm going to do. Also, it's not showing too much, so I wanted to make sure that this dress not only absorbed color, but had some vibrancy. So I added just a little bit more of both colors. I'm mixing in some more, just mixing away, mix. I'm going to reapply, and it works. Now, actually, you want to make sure that the dress is completely covered in the liquid-based paint that you made. If it absorbs, you just do what I'm doing, which is basically what I do is I stick it in, let it absorb, I ream it out, let it absorb some more. And I do this for like every 5 minutes, for about 15 to 30 minutes. Every 5 minutes, I'll just ream it out, flip it around, and just let it absorb on another side. Then what you want to do is afterwards, I apologize for it to being slightly off camera. I'm about to clean up my mess, but I will put it back into view. But yeah, you want to let it rest. Make sure you clean your mess. You don't want stains. So here I am now. I'm taking it out, and as I can show you, it is not accepting on the tulle fabric over the main skirt. So that's something you gotta live with. So when making a dress a different color, you want to make sure it matches the color of the tulle, or you just remove the tulle altogether because it's not going to accept the coloring, unfortunately. So you want to be careful with that. Sometimes it does, but for this circumstances, it didn't. So it's still like this kind of yellowish green color, but it looks more better now that the dress has been restored. So what I did was I put the dress on some old fabric. This is an old shirt, and what I'm doing now is that I'm straightening it out, so when it dries, it doesn't dry with like wrinkle designs on it, and I'm just smoothing it out. I'm also playing with the tulle because sometimes you get what you call little tulle filled gaps, You don't want that, but that will wash out pretty good after you do the wash. So you want to let this dry normally. Maybe wait a day or two just to let it absorb a little bit more. And we're back. It's day two, and here is the result. As you can see, it's quite stiff. So we can resolve that problem now by basically dunking it in a bowl of hot water, as hot as you can get it. That way the hot water absorbs into the paint and basically, in a way, stains it, but not stain as in bad stain, but in good stain. Basically, a proper way of setting in the dye from the acrylic water coloring treatment. So I'm reaming it out now, and then I'm just looking at it. Now I'm just getting ready to dunk it again, just for a second dunk. Repeat. And then when you feel satisfied, just take a nice clean rag after you dunk it, and then lay it to air dry and check to see if it's still stiff. If it's still stiff, do a couple of more dips and washes until you're satisfied, and then you're done. I mean, literally, the dress is ready to try on. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was short, but I hope it helped for people who want to change their outfits for their dolls or fix the fade. So have a good day.